Looking for a marble buttercream tutorial? Yep, you've come to the right channel. This is Food Network. I'm just kidding. It's just a homemade video. Today I'm going to show how to make marbled buttercream. Start out by cutting a piece of parchment paper or an acetate sheet, enough to cover your cake. Using colored American buttercream, I use 2 shades of purple and some white. Tip number 1, if you want a more natural look, use at least 3 color shades and white buttercream. Scoop out some buttercream into parchment paper, making sure to place it in random places. The more random it is, the better the outcome will be. Once you have some buttercream in place, use an offset spatula, lightly spreading the buttercream in no particular direction. This will create the marble look. Tip number 2, use a light hand when spreading. If your spatula touches the parchment, that means you've gone a little too hard on it. All you want to do is make sure you spread out an even amount of buttercream throughout the parchment, ensuring that the corners and edges are covered. Take out the crumb-coated cake from the freezer. I had mine in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Tip number 3, make sure your crumb coat has enough time to solidify so the marble buttercream will easily adhere to the cake. Cover the cake with the marble buttercream we just made. Smooth out the sides with your hands or a cake scraper and try to straighten out the parchment as much as you can. Place the cake back into the freezer for about 5 to 10 minutes once again. When the 5 minutes is up, welcome to the fun part. Carefully peel off the parchment paper. If you've used a parchment taller than your cake like I did, you'll notice that there's an excess buttercream at the top of the cake. Cut out the excess with a sharp knife. Tip number 4, make sure your knife is angled at 90 degrees so you're not cutting into the cake and to achieve the sharp edges. You see here, my parchment did not fully cover my cake. If yours look like this as well, fear not. Using an offset spatula, mix some colored buttercream in random places of the cake and at the top. Then smooth away with your cake scraper. For the very last time, pop your cake back into the freezer and let it sit for 5 minutes so we can smooth out the entire cake. Which leads us to tip number 5. To achieve a straight edge, rinse your metal cake scraper with hot water, dry it with a towel, and scrape out the side of the cake while turning. The hot metal will melt the surface of the buttercream, which will then make a very sharp cake edge. If you see creases on the side of the cake, smooth out the buttercream using a metal cake scraper. Hold the cake scraper at a straight angle and turn the turntable. Once you're happy with your cake, top with a cake topper and you're all set. I hope you enjoyed making this cake as much as I did. Please comment below if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer. Till next time.